Ciao! Ciao dear Sicily lovers and welcome to this live broadcast. I am Taormina, the jewel of Sicily, and I'm following a group of 21 beautiful American people. We have started our season. This time the tour starts from Taormina and will end in Palermo, the other side of Sicily. And I'm not with Gianca this time. Gianca will not follow this group because he had a surgery, is fine, so send your positive vibes to Gianca. He will be back to you soon, so it's the time to enjoy Taormina, and I have a special guide today for you. Her name is Melina.
Hello, my dear. Good morning. Nice to meet you. Rosella, it's a great pleasure to see you every time here in Taormina. Like you all will have in the future the opportunity to come to this Pearl of the Ionian. This is how we call Taormina, the Pearl of the Ionian Sea. We are here on the east coast of Sicily, and now we'll take a nice stroll along the Corso Umberto, which is definitely the most famous street, a pedestrian area in town, the main shopping area for the shopping lovers. But of course Taormina is not only shopping, there are definitely many other things to attract your attention. And so we would like to show you something of it, but we always wait here for you to come and discover on your own.
If you join our tours of Sicily, Melina will be your guide here in Taormina. So be ready because Melina has a lot of things to tell you about Taormina. So let's start, Melina.
Let's start.
Where we are?
We are here on the Duomo Square. The Duomo is the main church of Taormina. You can see this beautiful, impressive church that reminds us the Middle Ages when the Normans had a great influence on this island and left behind a lot of their culture and of their architecture. It's a church from the early 13th century. We can walk a dirt which reminds us of a fortress, as you see the crenellations on top. And then here in front of the church we have the fountain named of the Centaur. You can see on the very top of it the symbol of Taormina. From the ancient mythology, it's a monster described as half horse and half human, has become the symbol of the town, the Centaur. The church has been refurbished many times along the centuries, with side doors built in addition, inside with Baroque altars. The interesting is the structure that reminds us always the strategic fort. Next to the church, on our left-hand side, we have the town hall, with the facade. That reminds us wants to be a commemoration of a Jewish community that lived here in Taormina during the Middle Ages and then persecuted during the Spanish Inquisition. And here is the beautiful Corso that continues with plenty of shops and pastries and very good restaurants, because I always want to remind you, Sicily is not only stones and ruins, as some say. Yes. No, I'm joking. Of course, a lot of monuments, archaeological sites and museums, but also very good food. Remember always about the very good, genuine products and many specialties. In every different part of Sicily where you go, you might order the same dish, but you will find out it's always prepared in a different way. There is always a little secret in the different areas. ingredients added here and there. Well, about this we could say about the many different cultures that we have had on this island. I always want to remind and underline the geographical location of Sicily. Sicily is an island, a big island in the center of the Mediterranean area, between three different continents, between Sicily, between Africa, Europe, and Asia. And of course, from these three different continents, people have come here in order to settle and from here dominate, of course, the whole Mediterranean area. Look how pretty these little side streets. A lot of it where you find shops and restaurants and artisans. And look at there. No? Very pretty. With the decorations, the flowers. Maybe there was a wedding.
Maybe
There was a wedding. Because you know, we also have a lot of foreigners who pick up Taormina to celebrate their weddings. It's such a charming location. And
Come to Sicily and celebrate your wedding here in Taormina.
or reconfirm your promise. Yes, they do. Definitely. It's a flow of people, no? Look at there. Sometimes it's really so full.
Yeah, today
You simply have to follow the flow, no? No, but that's it. I like to say also that Taormina is not only the Corso Umberto, not only the main street. There are so many little side streets where you still find shops and restaurants. Well, I think today I want to show you a little bit of this aspect of Taormina, because I think everybody has seen pictures of the ancient Greco-Roman theater, which is the highlight, the main monument in town.
we went there this morning with our group, of course.
This morning with our group, and they really enjoyed. We spent much more time than we had scheduled, because they really liked the location. They went up to the top of the theater because from there is an amazing view. But of course the town is also something else. Look like this chocolate place.
Let me show this narrow street and then
The chocolate.
oh, the chocolate.
The fluid chocolate flowing down the steps. The sweet aspect of Taormina. Yes, the little side streets are really charming. So the Corso Umberto, the pedestrian area, which has become a pedestrian area about 40 years ago, and from there a real commercial explosion with plenty of shops along this street. They stay open almost all day. Most of them don't close during lunchtime. Look at this other little stairway here with the paintings. And all the way up on top, the church. One of the 20 churches that we find in this little town.
How many?
About 20.
Wow.
About 20 churches, and you know, most of it are now closed, even this consecrated. A few are used on special occasions, and only a couple are used for daily service.
How many people live here in Taormina?
In Taormina, the population just here in the old city is about 7,000. Then, since Taormina has a very wide territory, so with other little suburbs in the surroundings, if we consider the suburbs, the total population is about 11,000.
But during the summertime?
During the summertime, it's 10 times more because it's really, really full. We have plenty of hotels, different kind of accommodations, from the private apartment to the B&B or the luxury hotel. And by the way, I guess I I bet everybody knows the White Lotus fiction.
Yes.
And the second season of this fiction was filmed here in Taormina. We have the beautiful Four Seasons Hotel, which used to be an ancient Dominican monastery, then became a hotel at the end of the 1800s. And it has been recently totally refurbished by the Four Seasons. It's now working as a Four Seasons hotel.
And very expensive.
Very prestigious, very expensive, as you know. But this, of course, brings more prestige to the town if it ever needs.
So we have to say thanks to the White Lotus.
Of course, of course. Here we are coming now to the middle gates. You see halfway of the Corso Umberto, with some beautiful hotels even along this street. Figure that just in the whole territory of Taormina, not only here in the old city, but the whole territory of Taormina, we have over 200 hotels. Over 200 hotels, which means really a lot of accommodation. And this is a beautiful, an icon which is newly made, but picks up exactly the typical Byzantine icons, with this golden background, the frontal figure of the Madonna, with these big dark eyes, very typical of the Byzantine art. Here we arrive now to the beautiful square Belvedere. When you talk about the square of Taormina, you mean this place. There is no other square that can be compared to this one. Always with the music, a lot of people simply to enjoy even the view from here. The library of Taormina, and then of course we go down
And now be ready for the wow view. Behind the clouds you can see
Mount
a part of Mount Etna.
with snow on it.
Come on, it's springtime and we still have snow on
You
Mount
know,
Etna.
springtime is a transition season, no? So we might have some rain, snow on the mountain. We have the sun and warm so that people already go to the beach to swim in the water, which is still cold, I must say. But anyway, it's really enjoyable. So with Mount Etna there in the clouds, and then when you look down to the water is the Bay of Naxos, which was the earliest Greek settlement in Sicily. Then we have the Hotel Four Seasons, the White Lotus one. Okay, this big block with the arch windows, with the blue windows there. This is the Four Seasons Hotel San Domenico, no? Because as we said before, it was a Dominican monastery. Then along the coast continues the Cape Taormina, and then further on the mountain, behind the trees, the ruins of the ancient Greek.
Over there.
You see the brick ruins? Are from the ancient theatre, which is a Greek theatre originally and largely modified by the Romans. That's why we have all the brick walls.
Can you recognize this song?
Of course.
And it's perfect because after Taormina,
We are going, Yes, after Taormina, after lunch, we will meet our guests again, and we will go to Savoca and Forza d'Agro, which are two very small hilltop villages where they shot some scenes in the movie The Godfather. And I'm sure they will easily recognize the movie sets
Yes.
because everything has been refurbished, but everything is as it was.
Untouched.
Untouched, the style, you feel immediately the atmosphere of the ancient village as it was when they filmed the movie. So it will be a real surprise for our guests when they get there.
So let's go on. Baciamo le mani. It means kiss the end.
Yes, it's a form of respect.
Brucia la terra mia, che bruciano i cori. Che si ti d'acqua, che dai io, si ti d'amori. A la canto, la mia canzoni. Se non c'è notte, casa faccia. Grazie della piccola offerta, grazie.
Street artists.
Yes.
Yeah, they're very good. They have been here for a long time. Yeah. And here are the two bars. One here, the Mocambo, as the other one behind us here, the Wunderbar. Historical places where in the 50s, in the 60s, when Taormina was discovered, thanks also to the film festival that they organized, they hold it in the ancient theater. All the movie stars came for this very important award, which was a little statue that represented the David by Donatello. And for this award, of course, all the famous actors and movie directors, they were here. And for 1 week, Taormina became the stage of the whole world. So. Oh, look at this.
Oh,
This is the
Melina.
smallest side street in town. So it's named Vicolo Stretto.
Could you please hold this? I would like to show my friends.
Definitely. Yes, so they can realize the size, the size of this side street.
If you want to fit.
So it depends. Either you are
Sorry, I miss this one.
okay. So it means either you are too fat to fill the whole path, or the path is so narrow to hold you. You are really so thin. Yeah.
Guys, could you please write in the comments if you can hear us? Because it is a little bit noise, but we have the microphone, so I hope you can hear us. Write in the comments. It's a live broadcast, so everything is live, no?
Yes. In here, this was another of the ancient churches, which is no longer used, of course, as a church. And from here, let's say we're heading towards the most ancient site of the town. But you notice the town preserves its medieval identity. No? This was the main street since the beginning, since the ancient times. And plenty of little side streets, which is very important also for the drainage of the water, the rainfall. No? But also this helps to keep the air fresh in the summertime. The wind blowing up from the seaside keeps the temperature a little lower. So in town here in Taormina, even in high summer, it gets never so hot like in other parts of Sicily. And it's right the location of the town. Look at this other little side street with the arches on the very top. Look at the top with the arches, typical of the Middle Ages. No?
Ciao Katie, could you please write in the comments if you can hear us, if the audio is good? There are a lot of expensive shops here.
Oh yeah, brand shops. But you find also easier shops, reasonable prices. So you see, it's nice even to sit outside. No cars along this street.
Yes.
Oh, here are a couple of our friends. Hello.
Ciao, ciao. We are broadcasting. Our clients are enjoying free time to enjoy shopping, because always in our tours of Sicily we give you some hours on your own, so you can relax, you can have a drink, you can shop, you have free time.
And now, Rosella, listen.
Yeah.
I would suggest
Yes, tell me.
to leave the main corso and cut down this little side street. It's very typical, and it's nice to explore the town also from a different point of view.
Yes,
What do you
I agree.
think?
I agree.
Yeah? Okay,
So,
then follow me.
ciao,
Let's go
ciao,
down this way.
Corso. And look at this
Yeah,
narrow
look at
street
this.
full of amazing things.
All these local specialties, of course the pasta, the sun-dried tomatoes here, and I like to show you the very big lemons up there, a very special product with a very thick pulp, and the lemon inside very small and not sour at all. So this is the lemon we use to prepare a salad, a real salad, that we dress then with some salt and olive oil and black pepper or chili pepper, and we make a real salad. If you like, you can add fennel, you can add anchovies also, or even olives, or simply eat it as a lemon in that way. The steps continues down here, but once again I want us to turn into this quiet, nice place. We go down now, we walk across this little garden, and to the other side we go out.
So quiet, completely different.
Totally different, you see. Very busy on the main street, but out of the main street you realize the local people, the local style of living. It might happen you see the laundry hanging outside from the balconies, people just sitting outside their doors, just talking. Well, the ruins here on the left side are the so-called naumakie. Actually, it's the external side of a big water container. As you notice, this garden is parallel to the Corso Umberto, the main street, which is up above. So try to figure where you see here these niches, these arches. It was a huge water container for the water supply in town, because in case of attack, in case of needs, they had to have water in town, because water reservoirs out of the city center could be poisoned. So it was a big risk for the citizens. So they needed to have water in town, and this was the biggest one they had. We are in the Roman time, okay? Back in the Roman time. Of course, we can also figure in these niches There were statues, there were fountains. It was nicely decorated. And here we come now to the exit on the other side. And we return in another of those little side streets.
I can see a beautiful balcony over there.
Look at the house in front there. You know, the owner of this place, of this house, is a real artist. I show you now in the windows of his house his art, because his grandfather and his father did all this amazing work, and he is still continuing. Look at this, with these rich decorations on the door. Sometimes religious subjects, sometimes pagan subjects, ceramics, paintings. And look at the lights here with, well, all the red you see, which looks coral, actually it's wax. Huh? It's wax. And then a lot of... oh, look at this Rosella. This is very funny here. The woman, the lady in the kitchen, she is screaming with the guy, "What did you bring here? The chicken is not good and it's not fresh." Look at, very nice.
You know, Sicilian women are dangerous. Wow.
And look at the balconies also. This plant here, they call it donkey tail. They call it donkey tail. And look at the flower pots up there in shape of heads. This is also something very typical in Sicily. There is a legend behind it which says about a young couple that fell in love. The woman, she was a beautiful Norman girl, so she was a Christian. The Moor guy was a Muslim. They had a passionate love story, but her father never accepted him because he was Muslim. So at the end, the guy was beheaded. She picked up the head, carved it like a flower pot, and used to grow basil on it on her balcony. And she always had this beautiful lush basil that all the other women in the area got so jealous. They all wanted basil like the woman there. But of course they couldn't behead their husbands, so they asked the artisans to make flower pots in shape of heads. And from there starts the tradition to have flower pots in shape of heads, but always in couple. No, you're not supposed to separate them. They always have to go together, a woman and a man. And you see that the man has this Moor aspect, no, dark skin sometimes, with the beard and mustaches and so on. No? Look at the balconies up there. So this is Pancrazio, the patron saint of Taormina. Look how pretty these tiles here. You know, in Sicily we have a long tradition of ceramics and beautiful pottery. First of all, Caltagirone and Santo Stefano di Camastra. Huh? More. And you know, it's just his home, this guy, no? Oh. This is his home, and in all the rooms, he has all these objects, his workshop in there. So... can you smell the pizza and the bread? I'm sorry, our guests and the bride, they cannot smell it, but we know. So believe us.
I can see also people enjoying
this is
granita with brioche.
This is probably the most famous place for granita. You know what granita is? Granita is a sorbet. Is a sorbet that they serve in a cup, and you're supposed to eat it with a brioche. with a brioche that you dip in the granita. Look at this. This is a wonderful strawberry. Strawberry.
Where is the brioche?
cream.
Where is the brioche without the
With
brioche?
cream. The lady has a
Lady.
brioche.
Can,
Look at the guys there.
can we show the
This is the brioche.
brioche?
You know how to have it? Take a piece, dip it in the granita and eat it.
Show me. Let's see.
Yeah, she knows how to do it.
Brava.
You see,
Where are you
very
from?
good. From
I live
the
in Austria.
Uh-huh.
Last time I was here was 2008 at Bambar, but I'm from America.
oh, okay,
Welcome to
good.
Sicily.
This is a very famous place, so you're lucky.
Definitely. We know that's why we came here.
We are live broadcasting, and our page is Best Things to Do in Sicily. So you
Yeah.
can see yourself.
Yeah, go on the page. Best things to do in Sicily.
And Taormina is really beautiful, of narrow streets and also beautiful corners.
Yes. What I always say is get lost
Yes.
in Taormina. Get lost in Taormina. Because you're never lost. You will always feel comfortable anyway in this little side. And where you only have to know the town is on the slope of the mountain. So where you go, either you go uphill or you go downhill. It depends where you want to go back. No, you never get really lost in such a small town. Huh? And everybody knows each other. You enter a shop and you ask, do you know this hotel, where is it? And everybody can tell you where to go. So
People are very friendly, so
absolutely.
they can help you. And we are approaching again the main street,
Yes.
the Corso,
Corso
where,
Umberto,
where
with
we
the-
can end our live broadcast.
With the Palazzo Corvaia in front of us, another medieval building. And look there, Rosella, on top of the mountain, the ruins of the Norman fortress on the very top.
Over there.
So here and
Yeah.
there, something from the Middle Ages, when I said at the beginning, Taormina preserves its medieval identity, no? Because here and there you find something from the Middle Ages. So we are back to the Corso Umberto again, from the opposite side, and we are walking towards the place where we interrupted and walked down the steps where that colorful shop was with the lemons and all else. No?
Yes, as now it's almost time to meet again our group. We are touring with a group of 21 beautiful American people, and if you want to join us, we can help you plan a wonderful tour of Sicily, and you can also join one of the editions of our Sicily Lovers Tour next year, because the small group tours this year are already sold out, and so you can join next year. And Melina is one of our
main
best
square.
guides here in Taormina, and
all the way back here.
No.
send
The
your
central
positive
square.
vibes to Gianca. He's a Tom.
Right there.
He over yeah. Brava Melina. Save the dates. I have to switch because it's so you can
Focus on
join
it.
one of these edition. May 21 till June the 1st, then the second edition takes place from June the 4th till 15, and the third edition in September from 18 to 30. So, best thing to do in Sicily.com and book your vacation to Sicily.
Grazie.
Send your positive vibes to Gianca. He needs your positive vibes. He's recovering speed.
Looking forward to join us again. Thank you
Yes.
very much.
Melina,
Waiting for you.
we thank you.
Thank
Thank you to spend your time with our Sicily Lovers beautiful family, and see you in Sicily in the next days, because
Thank
the
you.
tour is starting right today. Yesterday our guests arrived. So in the afternoon we will visit the Godfather filming location, and tomorrow we will go to Mount Etna, and so see you maybe later, maybe tomorrow, but share this live broadcast with your friends, put your thumbs up, and follow us in Sicily and spread love for Sicily.
Thank you.
All over the world.
Ciao.
Melina, do you
Thank you
remember the way
very
we
much.
close our live broadcast? Let's try.
Yes.
So, love, hugs, and kisses from Sicily.
Ciao, grazie.
Ciao, dear Sicily lovers.
Waiting for you. Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Ciao. Best thing to do in Sicily.com. Ciao.
Ciao.